Good to see you.
I don't know what that leg flip was there, but that was kind of funny. Let's see if it does that again.
Hello. Good to see you.
Nope. Okay, anyways, we're standing in a little bit of an odd position here on the crack in the floor where the bricks are gone. But anyways, welcome back to Code Vein, everyone, and the Road to 100, where today we're going to be, or yeah, this might be just after the outskirts, because that went so well. Maybe we'll just keep it going here. But this is a lot of fun here. The black greatsword is my absolute most favorite greatsword in the game. It is a fantastic weapon overall, and the weirdness about it comes in its charge attack. Everything else is fairly standard and normal and kind of whatever. But the charge attack on this thing is where it gets bonkers. Definitely on ranged impact, you increase the blood pillars that come out of this thing by 50%. And you'll notice on the card here that it does things a little bit backwards. It has slash crush, where most of the time crush is the attack of the weapon, and then slash would be the gifted damage that comes out. However, it's the other way this time, so this is a slashing sword, and the blood pillars do crush, and the gifts for this weapon do crush. So it's interesting to say the least of how this thing is built and how it comes out, but it is a fantastic weapon, and it kind of makes jokes out of everything around you, just because of how this weapon is built and how it engages the enemy. So if we run over here and do a charge attack, and you can see there that it's just kind of stupid. It's kind of a joke weapon, and it just absolutely annihilates everything. Whoops. And the worst thing about it that you could do is the regular attack when you go up against an enemy. But we're with White Mia here, so we have double gift extension for all our adventuring needs here. But this weapon is absolutely crazy. It is incredible in kind of a weird, bizarre, strange way, and it definitely earns its place in my mind at the top of the list, just because of this stupidity there, and the blood pillars that come out. Now it does have a 215% modifier on that charge attack, which is not the highest by any means, but it definitely makes up for it in those blood pillars, as those have a roughly a 24% damage increase, or a modifier, and they do pretty good damage, but they shine when you get up against large big enemies, and that is when this weapon absolutely takes off and becomes pretty broken overall. Now, versus the Virginborn, as I'm sure you all know, this weapon is absolutely broken. Level 1, you can absolutely annihilate her with no problem overall. And you can see there that we stagger these guys overall, and kind of, ooh, a poleaxe. Kind of no issue at all there. And even though we are slow mobility, it really doesn't matter overall, because we can just bash our way through here. Now these guys are strong to slash. They have a 25% resistance to slash, and so we're in a really bad way if we're going for a slash up against them, which our weapon is. But who cares, because the blood pillars absolutely make these guys a joke, which I'm thankful for. Whoops. Except the vines here, I thought I was out of the way. And even being slow mobility, it really doesn't hamper us too much. Now we do need to watch how many gift accelerators or charge accelerators we go for here. But it just doesn't really matter what enemy you come up against and how you engage them. You can make them into jokes. Okay, oh, I almost got the dog there. Oops. And I got the dog there a little bit. Okay. Okay. Oops, we're dead. So thanks, Mia. And let's go for a launch. Okay, and you see there that we kind of got into a bad way with these fellas. Okay, and so we're kind of paying the price for it here. Okay, and let's go for a charge, and we'll take him down. Okay, good job, Mia. I don't know what this guy's doing, but we can hit him through the wall there, and no problem. Okay, and typically this corridor here is pretty bad and dangerous overall because you get cornered and everything, and it's kind of a real pain. But we can go for normal mobility here at least, and some extra stamina, and we can get through here no problem. There we go. We'll go for that guy, and then we'll go for. Oops, I was gonna say we'll go for this gunner, but this gunner doesn't seem to want to play nicely here. So we'll have to, whoops. Okay, we'll launch. But you can see that the Sub-Zero Shroud definitely helps us in a huge way here, going for damage out on these enemies and staying alive and having very, very good survivability. And especially when we're paired up here with White Mia, having Guardian Aid at our disposal when we go down. And that is very, very nice, so we'll go ahead and heal up there. We'll go for charge and ranged impact, because these guys are definitely no joke here. And even though this guy has his sword or his shield, it really doesn't matter. And because we have ranged impact, even if we miss with our weapon, just the fact that we have extra damage coming out on those pillars, it does very, 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 very well. And you can see why this weapon would make it its way to the top here. Okay, and we'll get rid of that guy, and we'll go for a charge attack and put him down. So very nice, very, very nice of a weapon. It is absolutely amazing to have in anybody's arsenal. And even without time crunch and everything here, we're still able to put out really, really good damage overall. And having blood-sucking blades really, really boosts us into the stratosphere with our I-Core recovery. Okay, let's see if we can get a backstab here, because we got a lot of gifts to go for here. Now it does have that same crazy defensive attack there that you get from the heavy attack, and it's not really anything to pay attention to. It is a very, very, very difficult attack to go for, and it's not really worth your time to figure it out and everything. One of the faithful revenants of the channel here actually went through and figured everything out about that. And what it is it's a 90% reduction in damage if you can time it ever so perfectly to actually have it strike the enemy in a way that they hit the sword and go for a little bit of damage reduction there. So I don't know. I haven't really found it to be useful or easy or simple in any way to go for that damage reduction. So instead, it's just better to literally just ignore it overall and not worry about how you want to go about getting into that attack. So I would say just ignore it, because it's not really worth your time or the effects that it yields. It's not really worth anybody's time to work on it. But Arrow, if you're watching, I really, really appreciate your time and effort for that. It definitely confirmed my understanding of it, but it didn't make me feel any better having it confirmed, just because of the fact that it is absolutely ridiculous of an attack, and they kind of missed an opportunity there to have a really, really, really good option for their Revenant, but they instead replaced it with this weird strange attack that kind of is a goofy kind of a thing. But yeah, it's definitely a strange one to behold for sure. Okay, good. And you can see that you know, making your way through the government center here is a lovely jaunt through the area here, just because of the fact that you can you can stagger these guys, and they really don't pose any kind of issue once you get your rhythm going, and everything's running on course here. Now, as you saw there, we kind of did a knockdown. This sword does have knockdown built in, so it has knockdown and stagger all in one weapon, which is why I kind of consider it unfair. And it is absolutely just a beast of a weapon, absolute beast of a weapon. And because you have immense I-core recovery on your weapon because of the charge attack and because of the charge attack and blood-sucking blades, you're never really at a worse way here for I-core. And you can see that it doesn't matter if we go for charge attacks or gifts, we're able to completely ruin the enemy overall. And the bigger the enemy, the worse it is for them, because then all the attacks of those blood pillars are striking the enemy. And the fact that we have crush and slash in one weapon, well, I don't even know. I just don't even know, guys. This weapon is just absolutely bonkers, and you can see on her, I mean, it just absolutely makes a joke out of her overall. Okay, let's get this guy to come down, hopefully. And the fact that it works with ranged impact this well, and the fact that it works with charging and everything, I mean, it just makes for a fantastic weapon. I mean, it is just... I just can't gush enough about this weapon. It is absolutely incredible, and you can pick one up the earliest at the Black Hunter in front of the door going to the City of the Falling Flame, and if you get ever so lucky to get a drop from him... Oh, 2 charge boosters, how nice. We got an Argent Wolf Bayonet. Oh my, wow. That's our 3rd one, I believe, on the channel here, so awesome stuff there to actually have access to that. So very cool. Okay, wow, I just had like, my brain just completely froze. So anyways, if you are so lucky to have access to this... Oh, that's right, this weapon is from the Black Hunter, and if you get one of these weapons, it's definitely in your best interest to hold on to it and make good use of it overall, because it is a fantastic weapon to have in your arsenal, and it's just incredible, just an absolutely incredible weapon. Okay, so let's get a plunge attack here on this guy. There we go, and let's go for a backstab, I guess, and we'll load up on some I-core here. Okay. And the regular attack pattern is just like the Queenslayer Blade or some of those others. I guess we can just take these folks out, no problem here.
Thanks.
Whoops, I don't know what that was. But okay. Okay, let's go for a charge attack there, and that's why we have tirelessness active, is because we need all the stamina we can get quickly and easily on ourselves here, in order to make sure that we can stay up with the charge attacks. Because if you're not running red shoes from Fion, the inability to keep up with your charge attacks is very, very, very demanding. And if you wanted to, you could go for, this guy popped up here, you could go for, instead of like two-handed mastery or something, you could go for lifesteal, so every time you're killing an enemy, you would be able to get 5% of your life back. Whoops, okay. But not really necessary overall, because we have more than enough heals to get through here. Now, this is one of the places where this area gets really, really, really difficult. And it's very, very good that we are able to go for big damage overall. because we're able to get this guy stunned, and we'll go around the back here, and we can get him stunned, and everybody else that's running on in here. We'll kill that guy. Okay, and let's go for the blood pillars through the doorway here, and you can see that it really doesn't even matter if we hit them with the blade or not. It just this weapon is so ridiculous that it's like a bayonet sword crush slash item, and this area is usually very, very difficult, and all we lost was like, I don't know,
What's that?
500 HP or something. I mean, it's just absolutely ridiculous.
You have to use every tool you
And
have,
even though
right?
we're slow mobility, it just really
So our
doesn't matter at
going
all.
okay?
And the attendant here, if we get her into a good pattern, it's going to be even more of a joke
Now we're ready.
overall. So stay tuned here for a minute, and we'll we'll get a little bit more excitement here with her. But yeah, this weapon is just it's I just can't say enough good about it overall. Okay, now we need a little bit more ichor and go for ranged impact. Good, and we'll go for a charge booster and stamina. Okay, and hopefully we get her into a good pattern here. Okay, and good, there we go. And you can kiss her goodbye. Okay, goodbye. And oh, we need stamina. Okay, there we go. End your suffering, there we go. Good, and one more. Okay, anyways, oh my goodness, this weapon. I mean, what more can I say about it? I mean, it speaks for itself. It's just an absolute brutalizer of a weapon here in the game, and that's why I believe that it is my most favorite two-handed sword in the game here, and it just ends anything and everything that it comes up against, and it takes no prisoners of any kind, and it is absolutely just a monster of a weapon. I think this weapon should be toned down a little bit, but you know, I mean, I really don't mean that, but overall, I think it's just absolutely brutal of a weapon. It does anything and everything you want of it. It just doesn't do pierce damage, which is unfortunate. But I mean, you get almost everything you need out of one weapon, which is kind of unheard of, because a lot of the other weapons they go for things. I guess we can since we're here, we might as well just go for the big bad over here. Oh, we don't have any charge boosters. That's okay.
Right by us.
But because this thing is just so overwhelmingly powerful, it really is nice that there are some big enemies here that we can go for to check it out at its at capacity here. Okay. And because this guy doesn't stagger, he is kind of a challenge. But we'll just have to take our chips here and move on. Okay. There we go. Good, we got a backstab. I mean, even though we're able to have such a great weapon here, I mean, it still doesn't matter that he's a boss. Ouch. Okay. Can I get a launch? I can. Look at that. That's great. Good stuff. Okay, and let's go for a couple of charge attacks here. Ouch. Mia, thank you. Okay, and it's great that I mean that we have these, but it still doesn't solve the problem of this guy not being able to stagger too terribly easy. Oh no. Oh, Mia, thank you. Okay. And we definitely have to watch that attack there. Okay, let's go ahead and get a launch. Hey, very good. Alright. Alright, and maybe? Yeah, there we go. Okay, cool. So even this guy with Mia's help, the black greatsword can definitely... Oh, another pureblood. How nice. It can definitely take its lumps here and still keep on destroying everything in its path. This thing, I just can't say enough good about it. And as you see, I mean, we have plenty of ichor, we have plenty of ability, and we're able to just wreck through these guys. And they really don't pose any kind of threat, and that's really why this thing is so overwhelmingly powerful. And you can, oh, whoops, I forgot to put the ladder down on the other side, but oh well. Got turned around there a little bit. At least we have the door here.
Where do you think this leads?
Oh, it leads back, and we gotta do the run around and everything because I forgot this stupid ladder. Here, there's more fellas to attack. So you can see here again, just more of the overwhelming ridiculousness of this weapon. And we're out of charge boosters, so that's unfortunate. But we're not out of enemies to smash, so that's nice. Oh man, this weapon just never gets old in how it operates and what you have access to because of this thing. Oh yeah. Oops. I forgot about that guy. Okay. I guess in order to make the run back, we should not have dropped down, but oh well. And this guy, for whatever reason, is right here, giving us a plunge attack, and then perfect opportunity to do more charge attacks. So, yeah, we're kind of running backwards now, which is unfortunate. Okay, I guess we can take a little bit more time here in the area because
Put that to good use.
we're not going to be doing the Argent Wolf King this run, or this episode. We'll be doing him in the next one for sure. So now I guess it's just a run back to the elevator and everything, but you don't really need to see that. But you saw what you needed to see here. I guess we can go find some more enemies down this way and just continue the assault here. And this weapon, I'm so glad it's in the game, because there's so many other garbage things that happen in this game that make you just really frustrated and really angry. This kind of serves as the great equalizer, in my opinion, that we have access to it, and we can just ruin everybody, anyone and everyone that we want to. We can absolutely just take everyone down kind of at a moment's notice, and it really doesn't matter what kind of enemy you come up against, because most enemies have slash crush weaknesses, and because this thing does it all, slash on the first hit and then crush on the second, in the event that an enemy has a strength or a weakness to one of them, chances are you're going to be able to take on one of those weaknesses or strengths and completely end the enemy. So it's really, really good, and that's just what makes it so overwhelmingly powerful. And also on the charge attacks, it's equally good, because the charge attack, when the sword hits the enemy, it does a stagger, as you see there. But then the blood pillars also stagger. Okay. And just I just can't talk enough good about this weapon. And then we have, at the same time, we have knockdown built in, so we can knock this guy down, and we can knock him away, and we can do basically anything we want with any enemy we want. And the reason we're paired here with the Sub-Zero Shroud is because it's dark blood veil, and then at the same time we are able to do really, really good strength and willpower kind of setups, and we're able to kind of pair it up here with gifts, while at the same time having access to really, really heavy weapon damage overall. Thanks, Mia. Okay, and as we head on through here, and again, see, we just have constant ichor needs, but it really doesn't matter because we have constant ichor recovery in very, very big ways. And as you see here, we can go through walls, and it really doesn't matter. And I mean, this sword can just do it all. I mean, if you wanted a sword that really did it all, this is your sword of choice, and you can just do things with it that you can't do with any other weapon. And it really is a very, very special, unique one-off kind of a weapon. Okay, and if he's gonna stand there, we'll go ahead and pinball him around. Okay, good. And let's see. Okay, so we've cleared out pretty much everybody here with zero problem overall, and it's a nice way, a nice thing that we can do. And again, a weapon that can do it all. It can even hit people that are up off the ground. So you can hit through walls, up off the ground. You can hit people in front of you. You have infinite stagger. You have knockdown. You have slash. You have crush. You just literally have it all except pierce damage in one weapon, and it makes for just such a fantastic weapon. And I highly recommend this thing. And again, the bigger the enemy, the more damage it will do, because those blood pillars will do more damage on the enemies that they hit, because of the fact that the enemy is bigger and the AoE of those blood pillars takes into account. Now there are 3 attacks built into that blood pillar, so you want to make sure that when you're doing those attacks, you make sure that you go ahead and get the enemy in kind of a way where they can be affected by all 3 of those attacks. This weapon, it's such a breath of fresh air to play with this weapon after we've been going through some of these other builds and different things. It's such a fantastic weapon, and I really love this thing. And if you get this guy staggered, you can not have his friends being woken up here. And as you see, nobody got woken up. Everybody just dies. If Queen's Claw had a much higher stamina value of 234, going up to like into the 260s or something like Ishtar, then it would be even that much greater of a weapon usage. But that's why we're running tirelessness here, as I said, to make sure that we have enough stamina to always get at least one charge attack. Because if you don't have access to the charge attacks, this becomes a kind of subpar, substandard sort of a weapon. Yeah, and that's kind of why. So since we're here and we've done everything else, we might as well show EOS Vestige 7 and the ladder that I should have gotten the first time around. So you want to do this ladder and then go fight the Berserker over there. And here's EOS 7. Now EOS 7 is interesting because of how it plays with the end game. So if you want both endings, don't pick up EOS 7, finish the game, and then come back, pick up EOS 7, and then finish the game again, and you can get both secret ending and third ending all at the same time. So the Black Greatsword, this thing is absolutely no joke. And as you see here, it scales off of strength, dex, mind, and willpower. So strength and dex are for the slashing and crush, for the slashing damage out of the physical damage of the weapon, and mind and willpower are for the blood pillars that come out of the charge attack of the weapon. And again, that's why we're going for strength and willpower as much as possible, because this thing scales really hard off of willpower on those blood pillars, and then you get even 50% more damage out of them from ranged impact, and this thing just becomes just kind of unfair overall, which I'm okay with. I am completely fine with that, because this game has its share of ridiculous built into it, and if we can have something that's kind of in our favor at max difficulty here to just end all enemies in front of us, it doesn't matter what it is. If it's a mini boss, if it's a big enemy, if it's a small enemy, if it's a dog, if it's whatever, it just really doesn't matter. And that is why this sword earns its place in my mind as the greatest great sword, the greatest two-handed sword that we have access to in Code Vein, and nothing even comes close to being this versatile of a weapon, while having slash and crush and all the stagger and everything that we just demonstrated built into one weapon, and having knockdown and all the above. So yeah, I cannot say enough good about this weapon, but it all comes down to that charge attack and the fact that it has knockdown and slash and crush, two damage types, and it has basically infinite stagger. So if you're looking for the one weapon that dwarfs everything else, definitely go for the Black Greatsword, and you will not be disappointed. I highly guarantee it, and you will have a great time ending everything in front of you. But again, you only get access to it. Whoops. Where am I going? You only get access to it here at the Accumulator Ruins, and I'll show you where this fella is. And this is the first opportunity that you have access to this thing. So from the City of the Falling Flame onwards, you have access to this in your first playthrough, and it doesn't seem like it's that great of a weapon in your first playthrough, but in my level 1 run, where I did a solo run, you're able to see why I built specifically the way I did all through the game, was to literally end the game with this weapon, and it is the weapon of weapons here in Code Vein. And I really appreciate Bandai putting this thing in the game here. So this fella right here is where the first opportunity that you have in the game to get a Black Greatsword, and let's see if we're so lucky here to even get one from him on the first go. I highly doubt it, but you never know. Okay, so he has one, and yep, he even staggers from his own weapon. Okay. And not a problem there. And oh, a mark of honor. Okay, well that's even more rare. And to get it kind of on screen like that, that's pretty incredible. But yeah, he drops a Black Greatsword. I got it first try on the level 1 run, and I was so excited that I didn't have to farm the guy for hours and hours and hours. But yeah, let's head back to the Jail of Stagnant Blood, and we'll call it there. But yeah, thank you guys so much for really wanting to see this one. I know there was a lot of comment discussion about the Black Greatsword, of when we were going to see it and what are we going to see, and I really wanted it to be the last weapon that we kind of end the run on, and because we finished Greatswords, and this is the last episode for Greatswords, it's just I just I don't, what do you say about this, guys? I mean, it's an amazing, incredible weapon. So anyways, the Black Greatsword is no joke, and you definitely want to go for this thing. And if you want more slash damage out on the weapon strike, go for the fortified. And if you want more scaling on the blood pillars, go for the intensified, so you can get a higher scaling value off of that mind and willpower. I don't really have a good way to show that. I guess back at the dummy, I mean, I could continue talking about this weapon all the time, so it's not time wasted here, and we're definitely not inhibited by anything here, because this weapon absolutely deserves all the time and attention that you can give to it. So yeah, it's this weapon. When they built it and put it in the game, I highly doubt that they had everything in the game in mind when they built this thing. They were like, oh well, stamina is going to be an issue, and you know, the charge attacks are gonna be, you know, if they hit the enemy, then you could have some good synergy, but you know, what's the guarantee that you're gonna hit the enemy all the time, and all that. So yeah, it's kind of a interesting thing there. So let's see what the blood pillar does here. So 941, so it's 470, and you get 3 of those, so 470 is the value. And if you go for the intensified, oop, we missed. It's 450, but when you go for more mind and willpower here, whoops, you can see that we're getting some crazy values there. 2,000 and whoops, yeah, 2170. So it's really incredible how much damage you can go for this thing. But if you have a very high willpower scaling or willpower value on your blood code, there is a point where the willpower will overtake the fortified on the charge attack there. But you need a lot of willpower to go for that, and less strength, obviously. But it's in your best interest to go for the fortified, in my opinion. I would just stick with this and go for it. Now, we didn't even use the Damarung or the damage resistance from that, but that's on deck there just in case you need more damage resistance. But the Sub-Zero Shroud is no joke. It is a monster of a blood veil. And if you didn't have access to that, you could go for something like the GXL over here, or the GXL Defender as the regular title, just because of the damage reduction and resistance that you get, but you don't have the amazing power in Blast Bolt that you're getting here from having such a high willpower available to you. And when we're running this, you're at 1688, which is really good, and this is a 360% increase to that 1688. So you're able to do, let's see, like 5 and then 60% more. You're able to do like almost 6,000 damage on Blast Bolt if they are not resistant to lightning or crush. So pretty ridiculous that you have that at 5 Ichor and at a 5-second cooldown. So I mean, again, this setup here is just absolutely ridiculous in every way. So anyways, I hope this was worth your time, guys. I know it was worth my time. I really enjoyed running the Black Greatsword here. And it's just a weapon that really deserves all the gushing, all the praise, all the wonder and excitement and awe, and the time to really give it its own spotlight here in Code Vein. So if you were looking for DLC or other things or this or that, you don't have to look any further. Just go for the Black Greatsword and pump this thing up with strength, dex, and willpower. That's kind of a hard combination to come by, but Queen's Claw is uniquely suited for this, and there's not really a whole lot of other blood codes that are strength and willpower heavy. Now again, Fion, you can definitely go for this with red shoes, and you got the strength, but you don't have the willpower available. So if you want, you go for a lot of willpower, a lot of strength, and pump up Fion to the heights, and go for go for red shoes, and man, just swing away all over and over, and you will basically have infinite damage, infinite stagger, and you will not regret it. So yeah. But anyways, that's been the Black Greatsword. That's been me, and thank you all so much for the recent support lately, and I really appreciate it, and much love to everyone out there that's continuing to watch the channel. So we'll talk to y'all later, and we'll see you when we get the next star versus the Argent Wolf King here next.